Hello, Beauty News family. Welcome to the April episode of Beauty News. We're going to talk about recent beauty releases. Let's kick it off with some collabs. We love a good collab, don't we, Kat?
And we love a bad collab as well.
We love a bad collab. I like that she picked up where I was going with that. Let's start with ColourPop and Tangled. So there's like ColourPop still loving their collabs. We've got an eyeshadow palette, which, you know, it's their typical format. There's three ultra glossy lips, 2 liquid highlights. There's a Glitterally Obsessed. There is a hairbrush and a hair clip. I'm just going to put it out there. I think the cutest thing in this collection is the hair clip.
Yep.
It's adorable.
I also don't mind the colour palette of the eyeshadow palette because
I think it's all right. It's
like
fitting.
It's the Tangled colours, but it's also slightly different to other things they've done. Like they probably got something like this in their sort of history of releasing palettes because they release them all the time. But this sort of mauvey with like the yellow and the peachy colours, like it is slightly different and very fitting for Tangled.
I don't mind it. Yeah, it is. Absolutely.
We do have 2 other collaborations. I'm going to start with the Glam Light and Twilight. So ColourPop did Twilight, and we did criticise the 2 collections for not being all that heavy on the packaging. Now, I retract that because I feel like Glam Light has gone too much in the packaging, that it's kind of creepy and cringe and weird. Also, I want to highlight that this collaboration is not just a Twilight, it's specifically Breaking Dawn Part 1. It's so weird. It's like we're taking images from probably the movie that had the least stuff happening in it. Like that was a bad era in film where they split the third one always in 2 and it always made everything bad. Anyway, so in this collection, I do love that they've got a palette for Edward. They've got one for Jacob, so you can pick your team. I'm going to say that up until the last movie, I was team Jacob and then he went weird, but his palette is definitely more of a me palette, so I like that color story. It's like earth toned and cool, otherwise not cool as in cool colored, cool as in I like it. The Edward one is very grey, sort of smoky red, purple, dark purple. There are other stuff in it as well, and there's a lot of collectible stuff. So there's like a bag that has that where you tilt it and it shifts from Edward to Bella. Yeah. And then there's a mirror with them like, you know, cuddling up to it. It's just, there's really too much here that it's a little bit creepy. Like if someone had this and they were using it at their like makeup vanity, I'd be like, I question your choices in life. It is weird.
When I saw this, the first thing that came to mind is like when you're fossicking around in an op shop and you find someone's like old like photo album or something, or you know, you find an old piece of jewelry and it's a brooch with like an old like photo of a couple in there. Like that's kind of what this reminds me of. But then also if you like take that and take Days of Our Lives and let it have a baby, I feel like it looks like this.
Pretty much. And I'm also expecting another collection with like Renesmee on it, and it's just going to be... It's going to be a wild time.
Oh God.
But
creepy.
They do have a skin spray, so if you do want to have that sparkly skin, this is actually in like a spray bottle, whereas I think the ColourPop ones, I had the oil, didn't they? Was it like the sparkly oil?
I think it was, the body oil.
Yeah, they do have a highlighter, and playing on the screen is a video of someone comparing it to the Fenty Diamond Bomb highlighter, so that one that's got that translucent base and like the really sparse twinkly sparkle, and they're pretty much saying this highlighter is like a lot better because it just has more of the twinkle. I'm just going to say, and this is where I think the makeup industry and brands get things wrong all the time, too much of a good thing is not a good thing. You take something that looks delicate and like beautiful and twinkly and you make it look like a disco ball that no one wants to wear. So yes, you're taking that inspiration and you've really ramped it up, but no one asked for it to be ramped up. I'm just going to put it out there. So that I think is not good. We do have another collection from a brand I've never heard of. So Wicked Widow Beauty. They've done a collaboration with American Psycho. And again, this feels very Glam Light early days, but with shitter packaging. Like the packaging of like, are they lip glosses? They look like they've just been taken off AliExpress. Like they look bad. Yeah. They do have a shimmer oil, but it's like an oil with red glitter in it. So if you sort of want to look like you've got blood splatters, but sparkly blood splatters that don't actually look like blood, just looks like glitter, you can do that. They do have a cheek palette. They've got some lipsticks, lip glosses. I have to say, and this is so photoshopped that it's really hard to tell, but that lipstick in Murder, that metallic red, looks gorgeous.
That red.
But I know it won't actually look like that.
I was literally just looking at that.
It won't look like that 100% because that is photoshopped. No. But that looks gorgeous.
Yeah, I think, I mean, you can tell a lot of these photos or these images are photoshopped in one way or another. And I think that's, look, I don't know. I think this is why I just got so sick of collabs. Like sometimes a movie property or a TV property or whatever, when you try and merge that with makeup and make it true to the property but also relevant in makeup, it just doesn't work. Like not everything has to be makeup. Do you know what I mean? Like
that's true.
Yeah, Anyway, but if you like American Psycho, and you buy that metallic red lipstick, tell us if it's metallic red. I don't think it will be. Like, that's just my vibe. It's a vibe I've got going on with that one. Let's move into general beauty stuff. It's a mixed bag this month.
It's like you've taken a handbag and just shaken it and then spilt it out on the floor. That's what we've got. In my handbag, I usually have lip balms. And I have to say, I want to mention something. I'm going to pull out a couple of things that I think they're like sneak peeks, but I think they're interesting. The first one are the 2 new flavours of Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask. And they've also got the glowy lip balm, which I really like as well. They've gone for bubble tea flavours, Hailey. There's a taro.
They have, I know.
And there's a matcha one.
I know. It's great, isn't it?
Now, I'm so into like taro, ube kind of stuff. I think it's delicious. I always order it when I go get bubble tea. So this is exciting. I don't think they're going to do it well. They never do. And I'm always disappointed.
Oh, yeah. I think that's the thing about Laneige. Sometimes I feel like their flavouring or their scents are just off. They're just a little bit skewed. And I don't know if they do that on purpose. If they do, it's fine. Like, it is what it is. But I do agree with you.
Yeah.
I think sometimes.
My only hope is that because they're a Korean brand and these flavours are very prominent in that part of the world, I'm hoping they do it justice. But I know I'm probably going to order them, just blind buy them and without smelling them because I'm interested. And I'm going to open them and I'm going to be like, this smells like farts. That's my concern. But otherwise, I'm really excited for that news. So that's so what funny. I'm mainly interested in. Another thing I want to mention, and this is for you, Hailey, not really for you, but I know that a while ago we were talking about, what was it? I think what might have been discontinued things or collabs that whatever, we're talking about something.
We loved,
whatever it was, with influencers or something. But I remember you were talking about, or maybe it was trends. You were talking about like wanting the blue highlighter thing to come back, but in a better way. Oh
yes, yeah.
Now this is not highlighters, but there is a sneak peek of a new Urban Decay Moon Dust eyeshadow palette. So it's called Ice Out. So these are all that twinkly, beautiful moon dust formula, all in like cooler shades. This looks a lot like that Anastasia Beverly Hills highlighter palette with the, it's got that purpley blue and the white that shifts blue and the grey that shifts blue. It looks like that, but in an eyeshadow version. I kind of like it. I'm not going to buy it though.
The thing that caught my eye about this, I'm not sure exactly what shade it is. I think it might be Ice Slick. I think that's the one where it's transparent with like a blue flicker.
Yeah.
That is so, so pretty.
Yeah.
The rest of the palette, I don't think I really care for. But that is what Urban Decay do. I feel like they usually have 1 or 2 shades that are just like, wow, that's gorge.
Yeah.
And the rest is like, I don't want it. But you can't buy one without the other.
Yeah.
So
I don't understand though. Like, I feel like what they're doing with that particular shade that you mentioned, it's got a little bit of a like, there's a colour to the base. Like it looks a little bit orangey or something, or a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's what Space Cowboy does. So it's got that sort of orangey sort of base, and then it's got the sort of twinkle over the top, the sort of champagne sort of iridescent twinkle. But what is good about that, it's like a one and done. It almost looks like you've put down a caramel base and then you put an eyeshadow over the top. I don't know why they don't take like this type of formula, with that hint of colour, with that twinkle, and just release more shades in like the individuals and keep them
Why
permanent.
aren't brands doing it?
I don't know.
Where is our palette of sheer base twinkle eyeshadow?
Yes.
Not everything has to have a colour base. I really like those formulas at the moment. It's kind of my obsession. But I think it's my obsession because there's so few of them in my stash. And I really treasure them.
That's true.
So,
and I think what also again, this comes back to that sort of highlighter chat, is that the restraint in them is what makes them unique. Whereas a lot of people are sort of doing things, but they just are like, oh, we're still in the mentality of pigment is good. And so they just jam pack things. And then you're like, I can't wear this every day because it's not, I don't want to look like a disco ball every day. So I feel like, there's people are underestimating the importance of restraint when it comes with this particular formula, which is why you can't get a lot of good ones. Yeah.
I totally agree. And I don't know if there's like something in the water, but I know you and I both kind of feel this way, and I bet you there's a lot of other people out there as well, but not everything has to be so pigmented that it's like a punch of color on your face. Like subtlety is literally an art form when it comes to makeup, and it's not done well these days. Like I don't think many brands really do it, and I miss it. I feel like you used to be able to get it a lot, but I feel like it's kind of gone. But maybe it'll come back one day. Maybe it'll be trendy.
Yeah, I think it's starting to.
From Victoria Beckham, she has released a brush collection. There's a lot here, a lot of brushes. They are pretty expensive, not gonna lie. They start at $32 and go up to $62. There's lots of different cuts and shapes. Some of them are double-ended. The handles are walnut, but these are synthetic brushes. So I think, look, it's my opinion that you probably shouldn't pay more than like $20 or $30 for a synthetic brush, Australian. So take that as you will.
But she wouldn't get out of the house. She wouldn't leave her bed for piddly money like that. Let's be real.
That's right.
She's got the Victoria Beckham like tax on everything.
I mean, they look beautiful. I'm not going to lie. And I think, you know, it is quite a choice for a brand to release natural hair brushes these days.
Yes.
Just because, you know, I suppose it can be a decisive topic. It depends where you stand on the topic. So I'm not surprised that she released synthetic brushes. That's totally fine. I don't think synthetic brushes should be this expensive.
Yeah, unless they start putting, and this is what I think they should be doing, is creating fibres that are then like biodegradable. Like, you know, I feel like there's got to be some innovation in the fibres. Yeah. Which not just standard plastic.
Yeah, I agree with you. I kind of want to see a little bit more innovation in the world of synthetic brushes.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's start from the top. I don't even know why this is the top. Because Juvia's Place is not the first letter of the alphabet, but we're going with it. Whatever.
We're missing a lot.
Fuck it. The folder is doing what it wants to do and I'm rolling with it.
It is.
So Juvia's Place has released some new eyeshadow sticks. Now, I feel like we're getting eyeshadow sticks are coming back. These have matte and shimmer. There'll be shades on the screen. You can check them out. They're all very typical sort of nude shades. The shimmers are all pinky champagnes and the mattes are all various shades of brown. But I've noticed as well, we've got Fenty doing a similar thing. So they've had eyeshadow sticks before and now they've brought out 3 shades of Shadow Sticks Diamonds. So these are supposed to be more of a wet diamond finish. So it's got a intense high shine effect. And again, 3 shades. So like a goldy shade, a iridescent pinky shade and iridescent white. Fenty have also brought out a few other things as well. I'm just going to run through them really quickly because they're boring. They've added a lash primer to their mascara range, as well as a brown shade of mascara. Probably what's more interesting from Fenty is they have a new limited edition collection. It's all about cherry. So there's some lip care things, so lip care duo and a keychain. There's hydrating lip oils. There's 2 blushes with like, again, that packaging that shifts and it changes.
Lenticular.
That's the word. But it sort of looks like the video game cherries, like the 8-bit sort of design.
8-bit. I like that.
Yeah, cute. Yeah. And then there's also a lip liner and gloss bomb set. So if you like cherry coloured things, or cherry designed things, Fenty have a limited edition collection out. But they're not the only one.
They do. They're not. And if Fenty is a little bit beyond your budget, fair call. Essence have a pretty cute collection. This is the So Cherry Happy collection. I like the name. So there is a face primer which has little balls in it and I want to squish them. There is a lip balm, a matte liquid lipstick, a blush lighter, a lip gloss in 2 shades. You've got a red cherry and a soft pink. And then there are cherry scented nail stickers. I can just see myself with the nail stickers being like, fucking weirdo creep.
It's not the first time we've done like a look on
I know, it's true. Do you remember they used to make scented nail polishes as well? Yeah. I miss those days.
I like the look of this little blush, but what will make me sad is as soon as you dip your brush in it, those little cherries are gone.
I know.
Sad. All right, Glaminatrix Cosmetics, which is an Australian indie brand, has brought back, they've revamped a really popular palette that they had a few years ago, so the Nearly Natural palette. I don't know is it the new Nearly Natural, the revamp, whatever it is. They've brought it back again, but instead of it being a 15-pan palette, they've made it a 20-pan palette, and they've made it a lot more like organized, which I like. We both have this palette. It's very nice. I've done a review. Hailey's, I'm assuming, wearing it right now because you don't often wear that green colour. I am wearing it
right now.
Yeah. Yes. I can tell the colours. And this is, again, we were sort of talking about sort of more restrained makeup. This is by no means a lacking pigment. We probably would have liked a few more twinkly shades, but this is a really easy wear for like every day. I think the mattes are really beautiful. Yeah. They build up. Nice amount of shades. I like it. It's a good palette.
Yeah, the mattes are sensational. I think, I'm going to say this, I think the mattes are one of like my favourite parts about this palette because they're not so oversaturated with pigment that you're like stuck with this bright, intensely bold eyeshadow look. You can use the eyeshadows really subtly, or you can so easily just add a bit more to build it up. Yeah. And I think it just makes it a more diverse palette.
Yeah, I also like the blacks in there. That that sparkly black is a new formula. I'm not going to use it often, but it's very pretty. Yeah, nice. So that's a new fun palette. All right, we've seen a new foundation release from Lancome. Now it's not available in Australia. It seems to be just very new days. This is the Skin Idol 3 Serum Super Tint Skin Tint. Ugh, too much.
That's a mouthful.
It is. So it's supposed to feel like a serum. It's supposed to have a luminous natural finish that lasts up to 24 hours. Colour me intrigued. Lightweight, buildable, glides on, blurs, evens, hydrates, niacinamide, hyaluronic acid, vitamin E, 20 shades. So sounds like it does everything. We'll see. And it's in packaging that looks like discontinued Urban Decay. They've just taken, they just said, oh, you're not using those. We'll just rebrand them. Thank you very much.
Yes. I would laugh if it's the same formula.
And everything's just stickers over Urban Decay purple.
We've seen that before from Urban Decay. Urban Decay have been guilty of that before. That's why I mention it, because I wouldn't put it past them. Okay, let's talk about It Cosmetics. I feel like we haven't talked about this brand in a long time, but we have a new concealer. So this is a 4-in-1 concealer. It's meant to plump, correct, hydrate, and brighten. It's meant to smooth the skin with like soft focus powders and stuff. It's crease resistant. It's a multivitamin serum that's basically skincare and makeup combined. It's supposed to offer 24-hour hydration, and it has a unique applicator. Yeah, it does. It looks kind of strange. Comes in 30 shades, which is good. And I don't know, I'm intrigued. I kind of want to try it, but I don't know.
Never got along with It Cosmetics based products. Never.
Yeah, I remember they had their... What was their like cult product? They had a base product
CC cream.
That was like CC cream. That's right. I liked it, but I always felt like it was quite heavy.
Yeah, for a CC cream, it was bloody heavy, and also it was very yellow toned. It always looked
they had it.
nasty.
They had a shit color range. Everything that they put out had a shit color range.
Yes.
Hopefully this doesn't, because they say that they've got 30 shades.
30 shades of yellow.
Potentially, yes. Okay, last random item. It's from Pat McGrath. It's skincare. This is a Divine Skin Rose 001 trademark, the Hydrating Glow Cream. This is retailing for 138 Australian dollars. This is just, I feel like this is a bit beyond a joke. So 100% of people agree that skin appears more luminous and feels softer and hydrated. This is based on a consumer testing result of 35 participants aged 22 to 55 after 4 weeks of use. 88% of those people agreed that skin appears bouncier and that fine lines have softened, and 97% agree that skin appears more healthy and more uniform in tone. I don't believe it.
I don't believe it as well.
Bullshit.
Well, no, I do believe it because apparently, and I don't know the participants in this obviously, but from what I understand is when they do these studies, they take people that don't use skincare.
Yes.
And they like often even sort of like, I've heard that when they do
Swab the
clinical
skin.
trials, they often prep the skin with like alcohol. And they're like, does this feel more quenched? Yeah, obviously. So for me, these sort of, yes, good, you got numbers which will hopefully justify your price. This is Pat shenanigans. And I'm sick of Pat shenanigans.
I agree.
So what we're going to do with fragrances today is we're going to run through them really quickly. If there's anything of note, we'll obviously talk about them, but otherwise we'll have like notes on the screen, and we're going to encourage you to do some reading if you're interested, or pause the video, look at the notes. We'll have everything on the screen. But what we're going to start with is actually 2 fragrances that I own. Do I need these? No. Do I feel a bit regret buying them? Yes. These are both by Paris Corner. They're not bad. They're good fragrances, but I'll explain why I sort of regret them a little bit. So there's Molten Caramel and Date Caramel. Now these are super sweet. So if you're into gourmands and you're into Middle Eastern fragrances, these are like, you can get them in Australia for like $55, which is good for 100 mils. And the draw card to them, I believe, besides them being super like strong, sweet fragrances, is that Molten Caramel is like a perfume strong version of Sol de Janeiro 71. So that caramel with the buttery, popcorny kind of salty smell. This is a perfume version of it. So it's just like, it's intense. But I know a lot of people were looking for perfume versions of that. And so Paris Corner has delivered. And then Date Caramel is also duping body spray, but it's lush sticky dates. So, you know, the showers, the only reason I regret buying them is because I've already tracked down dupes. So for me, this is like, it's redundant in my collection. But if you were looking for dupes of those body sprays and you wanted stronger perfume versions, here you go. And the ironic thing is they're actually cheaper than the original body spray. And the Lush ones are limited edition anyway, and they're not around. They bring them back like around Christmas. So if you liked those 2 scents and you wanted them in perfume versions, much easier to get now. The Molten Caramel one, it pretty much has the same notes as the 71 Sol de Janeiro, but it's missing macadamia, but I can 100% tell you it still has that sort of salty, popcorny macadamia sort of smell.
That's what I was wondering. How similar are they? Like, are they actual dupes or are they just like dupes?
Well, they're I would say that they're inspired by, I think, but when you compare it, it's sort of, okay, what I would say is when you're wearing them, they give a similar effect. But if you get up close, obviously one being a body spray is a lot like, the body sprays are strong, don't get me wrong, but they're not as intense as perfumes. And the perfumes have, there's a, like, so they're slightly different. I feel like the date caramel one almost has a date liqueur smell to it as well, rather than just the date sort of scent that the shower gel has, for example. But it's very similar vibe. If you like either one of those, the fragrance will be something that you're into.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, next time I see you, Hailey, maybe I'll be like, here's mine, because I've already found dupes previously and I've got a lot of it. I'm going to quickly touch on 2 new Acro fragrances as well, because I really like Acro as a brand and I like the sound of both of these and I kind of want both of them, but I can't smell them in store. There is Breathe, which is more of aquatic, lavender, aromatic, fresh citrus. So it's got lavender, bergamot, water notes and musk. So like fresh and zen, which I'm all about. And then only in the past week, they've mentioned Crush, which is a sweet, rosy, fruity, almond, vanilla, nutty one. And they're using a lot of vanilla and like macarons and stuff in the marketing. So that one's got almond, lychee, rose, vanilla, and praline. So again, they're both like, do I want fresh and zen or do I want like sweet and fruity? I want to smell them both.
Let's talk about something mainstreamy. This is from Carolina Herrera. And this packaging is so over the top, but she always does over the top packaging, so I'm kind of here for
She's the one that does the high heel shoe with the stiletto shoe.
She does. She does do the shoe. Hang on. Here you go. I got a mini of it. Even her minis are fantastic. Like, yeah, I really like her packaging. This is La Bomba Eau de Parfum. And it looks like a butterfly. It's pretty cute. So they're calling it a floral amber fragrance with top notes of pitaya, middle notes of cherry peony, and base notes of vanilla. I like it very much.
What confuses me about the bottle is that it looks like it's on the side. It also looks like it's got a weird handle on it, but that I'm assuming is a lid.
You know what I feel like it looks like? You know when you see... I mean, I've never seen a house like this, but I've seen pictures where people have like really ridiculously ornate over the top handle, like doorknobs and stuff, or
that's like door knockers
what it looks like
and stuff.
to me.
Yeah, it does look like that.
That's kind of the vibe it's giving me, but I think it's meant to be a butterfly.
I think so.
I don't know. So. Maybe it's meant to be like glass knuckles because it kind of looks like you could hold it. I don't know. I don't know where she's going with this.
If someone breaks into your house, you've got your perfume on your like table. Cool.
Smack them right in the face with that.
Yeah, exactly right. Let's go more mainstream. We've got DKNY showing some Be Delicious Ice Pops. So they release new fragrance of these pretty much every summer, I guess. And there's 3 fragrances here. They also have hair and body mist versions as well. So if you don't want the perfumes, they do have another version. I'll go through the different ones. So there's Citrus Splash, which is the yellow one. That one has peach, gooseberry, grapefruit. It's got florals and, you know, some of the basic things in the base like amber and musk and sandalwood. Berry Bliss. Oh man, this has some notes that I'm interested in. It's got mango, mint, strawberry, raspberry, cotton candy. They all sound amazing. What are trigger notes for me though? Coconut can be really bad, and almond, but it's almond blossom. So this is one I might smell in store. I love mint in a fragrance. And then the pink one is very cherry, which again, cherry is quite popular at the moment. And this one has ice cream, cherry, lychee, bergamot. It's got some pear, some florals. Yeah, I know. I want to smell them.
You know what? You know what I'm excited about? I'm excited about the fact that DKNY fragrances are very commonly found in the corporate store.
That's true.
And I might be able to buy these eventually at a discounted price. The only bummer is that I have to actively go out to smell them elsewhere because I can't smell them in a corporate store.
The good thing is that they always end up like heavily reduced at Priceline as well. Like,
yes, they
2
do
years
actually.
after
That's a good
they
point.
are discontinued. Yeah.
And Chemist Warehouse
and
as
Chemist
well.
Warehouse.
I mean, yeah,
it's an
typically
option.
they're a little bit older, but it doesn't mean that they're bad or there's anything wrong with them.
No.
But yeah, for me, like, I wouldn't buy these full price just because I know you can get them cheaper.
That's true. And then they're going to be really good and they go viral and they sell out and then we cry. But
then we cry because we missed out. Yeah,
that's life.
Yeah.
That's life.
True.
The fruitiness though doesn't stop here. There's a lot of brands that are bringing out fruity things. So we've seen from Alice Brooklyn, they're bringing out again body sprays. But these are like milkshake ones. Here we go. We've got banana milkshake, which has melon, banana milk, papaya. It's got a whole bunch of stuff. I'll have a thing on the screen. And then we've got the lychee one, which has sparkling cassis, which is like black currant, lychee, all this kind of nice stuff. These all sound delicious as well.
They do. These look cute. I like them.
I have heard actually that the reason why brands are leaning a lot into these body sprays is because they are often cheaper to make and they can still sell them at a fairly high price point because Sol de Janeiro has sort of paved the way to make body sprays.
Fucking Sol de Janeiro.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, because it's weird because like they've gone from being a perfume brand to now incorporating these body sprays, but I would like these in a perfume. Thank you. And please and thank you. Another fruity, summery one that we're seeing, again, as we're sitting here and it's raining for me and I'm wearing a beanie, not because it's cold, but because my hair is a bit dirty. But Mason Francis Kirkjan has brought out a new fragrance, and this is often like a big hoo-ha because they've got very, like, viral fragrances. This is Kirkie. I don't like the name, I'm just going to say.
I don't like the name.
I don't like the name, but it's a fruity, sweet fragrance. It's got raspberry, peach, gummy candies, fruity notes, white musk and vanilla. And I've heard people describe it as like a tutti frutti kind of like thing. It is in Mecca, so I haven't smelt it, but it is in Mecca if you want to go smell it.
This brand is so expensive as well. Like, I don't ever want to smell it. Like,
and can I also say
with it,
that in like 6 months' time, there'll be like 14 dupes for it from other brands. So
yeah, for sure.
Just wait.
Yeah.
Save your $500 and something.
Yes.
It's painful.
Absolutely.
It's painful.
From Tom Ford, we have a private blend. I'm going to say it. They're bleeping it out.
No.
Fucking fabulous parfum. I actually don't like the way this perfume smells, but I love the name of it. That's kind of typical. So this has fresh green myrtle essence, citrus, bergamot, clary sage, lavender.
But then it goes a bit icky. It turns icky with like leather and cashmere and tonka roasted absolute. So it sounds nice and light, but then it gets quite like strong and heavy. I feel
like fucking fabulous does that. It's got these like really nice sort of light, yummy notes, and then the base notes are really like dark and like I've been locked in a cellar for 6 years. So I won't be buying that one, but it's fine. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people
bottle
that
from
love
afar.
It. Correct. I will spray it on myself in, Maya or David Jones, and then I'll be like, I don't like it.
Wash that off.
But that's and this is cool. I love the packaging of this. It's from Vera Wang. It's called Love. It's Love by Vera Wang. It looks like a diamond ring. Don't punch anyone wearing this, by the way, because the pointy bit will be facing you and you will hurt yourself. Yes. This contains Queen of the Night, which appears to be a flower, amber and jasmine. Also mandarin essence, pink pepper, black currant, accord, tuberose, absolute stuff,
etc., etc.
How do you store that bottle though?
I think it's got.
Upside
I think
down.
I'm sure it's got a flat bottom of the ring, so it's supposed to like that's like the stand of it, and then you. But I don't think it'd be the most functional.
Celebrity fragrances. We're going to finish up with 2 celebrity fragrances. I think this one is new. Correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't seen it before. Maybe. I don't know. This is called Marley, and it's Bob Marley's fragrance brand.
From the grave.
It's supposed to be, you know, inspired by Jamaican culture. There are, I think there were 6 fragrances. So you've got, we're not going to go over the notes, there's too many, but there's Mellow Mood, Place of Peace, Simmer Down, Soul Rebel, Lights Down Low, and Satisfy My Soul. They are available now at marleyfragrance.com.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a risk when a new brand comes on the market with 6 fragrances and they're relying on a name of someone that's not linked with fragrances and has died a long time. I think it's a bit weird.
Yeah, I agree. I think the reason why I side-eye this, and I would side-eye this from any celebrity, I'm just putting it out there, but the thing that has actually burnt me is Charlotte Tilbury releasing her 6 fragrances, and they're all horrid. So, look, maybe this is better. I don't know. But I'm just a little bit iffy about it. And also, I don't know, I'm a bit funny about stuff coming from dead celebrities.
Yes, I agree. From the estate, it's weird. I agree.
Yeah.
But an alive celebrity has brought out things that look like sex toys or something. There's something odd about this.
Yes.
But this is Sarah Jessica Parker. So this is a collection designed to express her personality with elegance, confidence, and timelessness. I don't think there's anything that's timeless about those bottles, I'm just going to say.
No.
There's 3 bottles. There's a blue one, a pink one, and a lime one. Ooh, bring me the lime one. I will try the shit out of that one. All of these actually sound quite nice, to be fair.
Yep.
But that lime one, I don't know where you get these. I don't know if I'll be able to get these, but I want that. Any like strong citrus or lime, squeeze it in my eye. I'll take it.
Maybe don't squeeze it in her eye. I think she's
take it.
I think she's just getting a little bit too excited. I'm going to play devil's advocate and say, please don't squeeze anything in her eye.
Although I have sprayed perfume in my eye before at a shop.
I bet you have. I bet you have. Yes. All right, guys. So we are going to leave it there. Definitely let us know which fragrance you think is the most exciting. We should have just called this episode Fragrance News. Maybe we will, ? But we do hope you enjoyed it, guys. And we will catch you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.